All right, I'm just another art teacher on making videos about clay. So today we're going to do a drape, slump, press, mold thing. Anyway, we're going to take a slab that we made and we're going to turn it into a bowl, the small variety and the big variety. So with this one, it has this big foot on it. And if I drape the clay over it, it's going to have that indentation. So I don't want to use the outside. So on this one, I'm going to put the clay inside. On this one, there is no foot, it's flat. So I'm going to try and see what I can do draping it on top. Ideally, you have one that's just nice and curved or has a very small indentation, which you can then remove or work on later. But this is what I have. There could be found objects that you have around the house. You could do this on a baking sheet, a Pyrex pan, cake pan, lots of objects around your house. Find one of those, use it. I've got two slabs. There's a large one. There's a less larger one. They're both on newspaper because we don't have canvas because this is pandemic clay. Pandemic school. What do I do this? Notice I'm picking up two opposite corners and it creates a nice little way for clay. Isn't that fun? So I'm going to start with this one. I'm going to start with the smaller slab. So if I put this slab inside the bowl and I kind of push it and make it in a nice bowl shape, it will get the nice bowl shape, but it's going to stick and it's never going to come out. To prevent that, you can put newspaper in. You can also use plastic. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this whole bowl. I'm just going to put the bowl in a bag. So essentially it's a bowl in a bag. All the loose ends are at the bottom, whatnot. This could cause some issues, but like let's see how we do. Again, I'm just some other art teacher making another video to put on the interwebs. Okay, so I ain't no professional potter here. As much as I want to dream about and I think about doing it in my next career, I ain't there yet. All right, so just be patient, bear with us. This is pandemic school. So we got our bowl, got the thing in it, got this clay. I'm gonna pick it up, and as we put this in, if any of you have studied geometry, it's gonna be it's just not gonna go in like that. So we're gonna have to stretch the clay, and it's gonna cause some wrinkling and whatnot. So we're just gonna very slowly. This is a good angle. You wanna, hey, sauce that camera a little closer, would you? All right, cool. Sauce, that's an old reference. It's also sticking to the bag, so I'm just gonna kind of smooch it in there. Creating some folds. Oh yeah, it's got some issues. So just slowly working it. It's got this big, what is the, so it's got that thing going on, but the rest of it looks all right. So essentially there's more clay than the bowl requires because it's got this big shape. It kind of looks like a lily pad. And you might use this to good effect by letting it do that. I want to make it a round, like functional bowl, I guess, for eating goldfish, lots of goldfish. So I'm going to cut off some of that. You do not have one of these fettling knives with you, but you do have a needle tool, which will work just as well. And you probably have some butter knife or something in the kitchen, maybe that will work, I guess. Try that. So I'm just going to cut there. And I'm just going to cut out a chunk of clay. Making sure I'm going to take out less than I think I need. I think I need to take out more, but I'd rather start with less so that I have extra. It's also slippery. So I'm just going to kind of work that. This is not, camera angle, dude. So it's going to overlap a little bit. You can see that there's a little overlap. I'm going to cut out a little more. I don't want it to be too thick. It's going to be a little denser in that area, but I don't want it to be too thick. I'm going to take a little bit of water. Ooh, very nice glass. Where'd you get that? Is that crystal? Amazing. I'm just going to put a little bit of water on each side. It's pretty fresh clay. It should stick just fine. If you want, you can score it, which will definitely help. So actually, I advise if this happens to you, you should score. Plus, who doesn't like to score? Scoring. A little scoring, a little more water, which creates that slip. You can see it's that kind of lighter tone. What is this place? It's Janky Home Studio 101. Now I've got it kind of slip like that. And I'm just going to slowly stretch the clay and kind of push it into that one, making sure that it attaches well. Oh yeah, that's nice. Just slowly, even pressure up and down that seam. You can see that it wrinkles a little bit there. Clay does have a memory, so it might do something in the stresses of the heat of the kiln. But if you have good craftsmanship, it'll do just fine. So now that's attached, I'm going to go around, work my way around the bowl, stretching the clay into that curve, and it takes on that form. Slow, even pressure, sneak up on the form. Don't do too much too fast. You've got time, put the time in. Good things take time. Here's that seam again, but you didn't notice, but I could feel it. So a little more blending, a little more smoothing, a little squishing, a little compressing. And then you can find, I don't know, that rib that you lost. Oh, it's gone. So you don't need to, but you could smooth with your fingers. You could smooth with a rib. You could put a texture in it right now. I'm gonna let this set up a little bit until it gets a little stiffer, a little firmer, like a nice leather hard. And then once it's leather hard, I can remove it. It will hold its shape. And I'll be able to work a little more on it. I'll also be able to trim the rim at that point, trying to get it even. But right now it's too wet, so I'm just gonna set it aside. If I didn't have the plastic and I tried to, it might be okay to remove it, but then again, if it sticks to the bowl, and it will shrink a little bit as it dries, and it could just stay attached to the bowl and crack, which would be a shame. But this way there's no attachment. It has no attachment issues. The plastic makes it all kind of removable very easily. So no attachment issues there. So that's in. I'm gonna let that set up. I'm gonna make a different one for the second video of the other bowl. Okay, so tune in for that, or don't, because like it's your life.